Here's one of the stupidest trolls I've ever seen in my life. Right here, this guy. Look at this. He wants to ask me questions. What exactly do you think your observations prove? What a tool. Seriously, bro. There. That's what they prove. They prove you're a moron and nothing more. Actually, this guy's so dumb. I swear to God. I'll tell you what these alignments prove. Watch this. This guy's total amateur hour. He couldn't win a debate if his life depended on it. You see how I didn't answer his question directly? He's such a moron. Anyways, I'm going to do that in the video though. I'm going to prove it. And then we got this guy here. This guy is so pathetic because he cannot disprove anything that I point out. All he can claim is that he has, or he knows someone who has, or that, you know, that what I'm saying is meaningless. And then this guy actually, he scrapes the bottom. He tries to go after, like, he's hoping to find like a weakness or an insecurity of mine. Like, he thinks that my view counts and stuff like that. He even gone after my family. Like, he said shit about my family, about me, like thinking that he would get to me that way. And this guy is nothing but a pathetic worm. A spineless turd is what this guy is right here. And he's so out of it that even though I'm going to prove what I'm saying is correct, he still will not be able to see it because he's that much of a tool bag. So I want to apologize ahead of time because I may come off like as cocky or arrogant in this video, only because I'm dealing with these trolls right here. It has, you know, it's not meant for anybody else to be offended by except for them and their buddies. And Seahawks, I challenge you to discredit any of these alignments, and I challenge you to put this video on your channel and let everybody see it on your channel. Bet you won't. Okay, so he asked me, what do my alignments have? What do they prove, you know? And it couldn't be more obvious, okay? You got two images from opposite sides of the planet here. Complete opposite sides of the planet. And according to plate tectonics, plates move at the speed of the rate of your fingernails growth. Okay, that's pretty slow. So we got opposite sides of the planet. It would take, I don't even know how, I should calculate it, but I would guess it'd be in the millions of years for a continent to travel from one side of the planet to the opposite. It'd have to be millions of years. And in millions of years, there'd be millions of years of erosion, right? Because that's what they claim, you know, that our Earth is old and there's lots of erosion going on. But there's a problem with that. When you can take opposite sides of the planet and line them up, and they fit not almost or not maybe, but exactly into one another, then you got a problem with your theory of plate tectonics. And these two guys cannot wrap their minds around that. And here's my thing. These match down to as good as you can get, as good as you can look. You'll see these line up. It doesn't get any more accurate than this. So there's no you know, these guys like to claim that the things that I'm showing don't line up. Well, you can't claim that here, because if you do, you're gonna have to show proof, because I'm telling you that these line up down to the greatest details. Okay, and if you move them around, you can see every detail, because right here you can see that this is like a double alignment. Not only does it line up with this so-called collision, a plate collision, and it does. If you look, you can see that these lines do line up exactly. You can see that this, you can just see this. You can see that these fit in there like a fingerprint. But then to top it off, you'll also see that images in between here and there will also fit. Lines like this, look, see that line right there? Notice how it just fits right into there. And then this one right here fits into this one when that one fits into that one. That is confirmation that this is an exact fit. Okay, but it doesn't just end there. It keeps going. This is how I know that you cannot disprove me. You know, not you, but these two yahoos that are on my channel every day. When these line up, and they do, here's the spillover, this lines up. Now what are the odds, okay, that this would line up and this would line up? But look, you can see that there are lines right here, right? And you can see that when I line that up, you can see that they fit right into it. The exact distance the lines are, the width, the length, everything. Look right here. Okay, but then you got these deeper scars here. You see this right here? Now those two guys say this is meaningless. Come on, do any of you guys think that these alignments are meaningless and purposeless? They discredit plate tectonics because this cannot be. This lines up as if this is brand new. Look at that right there. You can see that. Look at that dot right there and then that dot right here. Well, you can see it get darker when I line them up. And when I move it beyond it, you can see the dot right there. And there's another one right here and here. That's detail. That's look, and then you can see that this lines up here and that this lines with the coloring of in the background. That makes sense because this could have caused some kind of a catch for water or moisture or whatever. Some kind of land feature could be responsible for that, and it makes sense that it would line up with some green areas. Look, you can even see the individual dots. See that? It's tight. I mean, that's beyond. Look, you can see how this curves, and you can see that the lines fit within one another. These are the same distance from ridge to ridge here. And if you don't believe me, then I'm asking you to go ahead and do your own overlay and find out for yourself. Maybe you got better resolution at home, you know, than watching a YouTube channel, you know, video, which is quite possible. You may not be seeing this exactly the way I'm seeing it, so I advise anybody to do their own overlays. But see, look, you got these bigger things right here, right there. Here it is. Look, right there. But it goes beyond that because these are reoccurring patterns. And they're significant because they cross over and they fit again. And then they fit again. Right there. You even see that, right? How is that coincidence? I just fit this how many times across? There's no way that this is a coincidence. These are opposite sides of the planet. What does that mean for plate tectonics? It means that it's wrong. It's 100% wrong. These cannot line up if they're on opposite plates, on opposite sides of the planet. This is misidentified, just like I told, you know, that jerk off back there. Look how it keeps fitting. Bring it over here. You can see that this is related to this. This is probably where it flip-flops, by the way. But look, it lines up again. You see that with the turbulence right here? Tell me, Seahawks, that doesn't line up. I dare you to say that this doesn't line up in front of everybody. Because you'd expose yourself as a liar. But look, as this starts to line up in here and stuff, take a look over here. Like that. Look at the width there. Mountain peaks right here, or valleys where there are mountains. See that, how they fit right in there? Look at this right here. That fits right there. What was that again? Seahawks, that my alignments don't line up, huh? At this resolution? Are you sure? Because that looks like it lines up to me, bro. All the way. Look at that right here. See how you got a dot here? No, you got a dot there too. And where else? Let's see. Let's not stop now. I'm just getting warmed up. Yeah, here you go. Look, there's even more going on here. Look. You can see this, the rotation and wrapping around. Yeah, look. And this lines up. This lines up. See how these markings line up? And then look down here too. There and there. And there and there. Look, all the way up to the Himalayas. This is the turbulence, right? Because this is spinning. This isn't a collision. This is from rotation. This discredits plate tectonics, but I have hundreds of other different alignments that do the same thing, and that's what I've been showing for the last 2 years. But these two dickheads are so normalcy biased that they can't even convince themselves that they line up. So dumb. See, look, fits again right there. And what do you know? It fits again right here. Turbulence. God, it's gotta suck to beat those two, man. Look, same width here going on. And it's just gonna keep going on in my favor this way all the way. But there's an irony here. Let me show you something else. Because you see, okay, I've showed you this area, opposite sides of the planet line up in here and here. Now, let me show you this area right here. this area that I'm lining up now is, well, the Fuji Islands and this whole area right here. How could you be a scientist and look at this and not realize that this is something huge that happened to our planet? I mean, come on. Look at that. You could tell something significant happened here. Okay? This is worth investigating, and that's exactly what I've done. This area sits right here. Okay? This is where India is. Now, there's a plate subducting here. So, you can't have a plate over here skip this plate and match over here if this is still moving this way. If plate tectonics was accurate, these areas should be independent of one another, let alone this area and the opposite side of the planet right here. That's how far away this is right here. So you got this area and then you got this area between the two. Okay? I just wanted to show you this before I show you the rest. Okay, so here's these two areas. And you can tell that you have some ejections and swirls here that line up. And you also got these islands right here that line up too, like that, like teeth marks in a forensic homicide case or something. And when you bring this down, you can see that there's something connected here. There's definitely a relationship going on here with these alignments too on top of that. But let's bring it down to here. Now you can see that now this is the same width. You can see that these are curved. These are curved because I believe that when this was the core of the planet, it's a vortex and this area is open and it's swirling. It's swirling like a vortex. It even looks like it. And everything that I'm finding supports it. Look how it matches up here, and then you also got this right here, matches up. Right there. Right? Like the Himalayas. And then you got this matching right here. And you've got these features right here. See that? Anybody can see this, and you know that this lines up. Anybody watching this can tell that this lines up. I guarantee that. You'd have to be able to see this. See, it lines up over here too as it lines up there. Like a double layer. This is the same as this. Okay, yeah, so if this lines up here, and it lines up here, then, and you can see the swirling in there, then this should line up down here. Oh, I don't know if I should do this. Seahawks might get upset. But here we go anyways. Nobody cares what he thinks. First of all, you can see that it lines up with the crater. Let's make sure it lines up though. I really want to make sure, because check it out. I already know it does. Okay, so, and then of course this should line up, and it does, right here. Remember I did that with the other one? So this is supporting, it is a second alignment on this planet, or a third one, I guess, I don't know, but there's more than that actually. But check it out, let's bring it all the way through. Seahawks, can you point out where this doesn't match up at it? And your buddy? And can you tell me that how this doesn't mean anything again? That this doesn't discredit plate tectonics 1,000-fold? This is the whole Himalaya mountains, right? There's a collision that happened between two plates here underneath the ground that supposedly rose these mountains up. How can that be possible if this lines up perfect with that, proving that there's something else involved? There's nothing in plate tectonics, no mention of this, right? So it is significant despite your ignorance. And look, what is lined up there, you can see it, there we go again, lining up with this. Okay, so that's pretty good. But it gets better. Because you see that right there? That's showing you what gouged this crater out. And it was no meteor, that's for sure. And if you don't think that aligns, please go ahead and scrutinize this to your very best. Look. See? Right here, see how it fits? And it does fit. Put it this way, Seahawks, you or any of your crew cannot prove that this does not fit, because you know why? Because it fits exactly. But let's find out how exactly when we bring it over to lower. First of all, let's line this up right here. You can see how this lines up with the markings in the background. A blind man can see that this lines up. Seahawks cannot, though, because he has retarded glasses or something. But not only do they line up, it also shows how India was created. Something that plate tectonics cannot show you. And this alignment cannot be debatable. Look. You can see where it started out. You can see even what made this island. And it was not the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, that's for sure. Okay, so look. See, look. As it comes up, you can see that this fits right into here. It's there. Look at that right there. There. Overspill. And then of course you can always double check these alignments too. Yeah. And you can see how it fits over here too, these other alignments, these texturing. See how it fits right in there with the background, and it does. Pretty cool, huh? But that's not all, because after all that, Then we take this and we go over here. This is the mid-Atlantic ridge. This is the seafloor spreading here. What should, here, I'll ask you a question, Seahawks. What should the mid-Atlantic ridge have to do with the Himalaya Mountains in plate tectonics? Can you answer that question? Well, the answer is absolutely nothing. But that's not true. Because the mid-Atlantic ridge is not what they claim it is. Sorry to say that, and this is how I prove it, because it lines up where it shouldn't. Okay, so here we got this. First I'll do it with the non-transparent version of it. Here's the mid-Atlantic ridge right there. You can almost see how like it looks like an eyelid for an eye right there. You can also see when I bring it here, you can see how it's fitting into the shape of India right here. Now let's make it transparent. Okay, if you look at this area right here, you can see how it's got these lines going down. And you can see that there's a match. There's no problem, there's a match, especially when I line this up with the mountains. Even in here, huh? But take a look here. You can even see the parts that droop. And you can see this is the overspill. This is actually the true overspill. These are reoccurring patterns of it. And they're all end up here, by the way. Look at right here. As this lines up, you can see that this lines up exact. As you can see, that Seahawks has a problem here. He has to explain those alignments in order to discredit me, because they are significant and they are my evidence that plate tectonics is wrong. And like what's his name said, that you know, basically I have to show proof. Well, this is my proof. Now, if you don't believe it, then try to discredit it. But it's not all. There's more here. And I want to show you some new things right now. Okay, all that stuff that I just showed is I've showed before, but it's like the most basic part of this whole thing, and it's the part that none of these guys can discredit, and that's their problem, is because it's the truth. And because it's the truth, it just can't be proven wrong. No matter how hard they try, they can try to manipulate all that, but it's just not going to happen, because the truth supports itself. And I want to show you the new part that I haven't really shown much about, and that is what the surface features are saying. When you start up here by the North Pole, when I look at it, I can see that right off the bat there's spinning and there's a crisscross happening here. And you know, when you spin something, or you know, twist it like a bow tie, it goes narrow in the middle, right? And then and then what you're seeing here is pulling apart. But let me see here. What I want to show you is right here. See, this looks like a pretzel almost. One of my subscribers said a while back that it was like the spinning of a cotton candy in one of those machines. That's exactly what it's like. This crisscross pattern is responsible for the visible land features that you can see right here on Google Earth. And you can tell this area is a big deal. This area looks different than the other areas, but yet it's related to all of them. To me, if I was a scientist, I'd be really interested in this area because of all the chaos that's going on here. There's definitely something huge happened here. And what's weird is that, to me, it's obviously images of the creation of our planet. It's that simple. The problem is the way that we think about the planet. You think that what's inside of it is the oldest part, but it can't be true. It's the outside. This is the first images of when the process was being coded by the material that makes up our planet now. So you have to look at this as not as a surface feature, but as a feature that would have happened in the center of the planet when there was no planet. You see what I'm saying? Because this is creating the planet. And we were lucky enough to be able to see its process played out in features on the surface. And that's, there's nothing that these trolls can do to prevent this from getting out. These guys are pretty pathetic. They go after everything they can, but they can't discredit the truth. And that's what I want to focus on. I'm going to focus on what is here, not whatever else all the crap that they try to distract with. The cool thing about this is that I can, minerals are found in ejections and swirls. And with what I've learned about this planet, I could probably pinpoint really large mineral deposits that haven't been found yet. Okay, or maybe they have. I don't know. I have to look into it. See, watch. Check this out. Okay, here's an example. Here's that twisting. Looks like taffy being twisted around. Well, right now you can see that this looks like that, and you can tell that this even kind of fits into it a little bit. But as I bring it over and align it, you can see that there's a match. Right there, you can see it. And then, like even over here, look. You see these features underneath? They seem to play right into that. So does the Great Lakes a little bit. Now, but this is twisting, so let me get the reversed version of this. You see where it's facing the other way? And move this out of the way. And you see how this plays into here now in California. Right here is the basin of California. The current model says that this basin is made by plates stretching this out. Well, if that's true, then why does this line up with it? And it doesn't look anything like a plate stretching it out. It looks like a big blob of material, molten material, that's part of the process of spinning. So see Hawks and the other guy. How can you explain this matchup right there? How do you explain the fact that when I say it flip-flops, it lines up again? Do you think you could convince anybody that this does not align with that? Do you think that there's anything that you could say that would convince me or anybody else that this does not line up like it does. Now there's nothing you could do. But this is just the beginning, because this is how, look at that. I just noticed that. Can you explain that? You can see it happening again too, right there. You can tell that this is spinning this out, or what I was calling corkscrewing. You can see that this is the same as over here. It's just broken up. You see my alignments? There's plates in here, right? According to plate tectonics. So where are the plates now? And how come these align when there's supposedly plates underneath them? Okay, so we've seen that. There's more to be found with that, but I gotta keep moving. I don't have that kind of time. And then we got this. This looks like a vortex. And you start matching up the tips. And you start to see other alignments. Like Australia right here, with this right here, this piece right here. You see that? What are the odds that, that I start lining up the tips here, and then this starts to line up with Australia? I was trying to show this in the other video before I even knew this, but I knew that this right here was responsible for this peninsula. I don't think anybody believed me when I showed this on the other video, but now you can see supporting evidence that it's actually accurate. It's weird. I can really see these alignments. Even before I even found this, I knew that this was an alignment. I could just tell. But look at that fit. Come on. These are different layers. This is a group of layers, and this is one that has peeled off. It's been pulled out because the earth is expanding. Look up here. Let's see. When I line this up here, you can see these darkened features line up with the continent behind it. And this obviously is a moment of development of what this became, or what became this, I mean. And there's the overspill. This overspill, I think it's the process that coated this vortex. Here's a faraway shot, just in case you're curious. Now, let's take this and rotate it and see what happens. You can tell this moved through too, by the way. You can see that it fits into here. Let's see if I can get closer here and get it all in the same shot. so when I line up the tips, that's what happens. That's when other things line up, like this. Okay, so let's get the reverse. I'm running out of time. This can take way too long. Okay, so the reverse is here. I'm gonna match up the tips. And you can see that they're starting to line right here. And you can tell that this same peninsula is the result of rotation, because you can see this reverse image also plays into its shape too, with the pointy. I don't know if I can combine these and still, if it will still look right, but yeah, it went like this. See that? Okay, I see what's going on. When you look at these, this is this flip-flopping. This is rotating, and these are like the ghost image of that rotation up to this point. Yeah, see how they interfit in one another? This is reversed, but yet they fit. And you can see the swirling right here taking place. Wow, you can actually, I can picture already what's going on here. That's incredible, actually. According to Seahawks, though, this is meaningless. But that just discredits him as a viable source of, what am I trying to say? Opinion. Your opinion's no good, Seahawks. You discredit yourself as a viable opinion maker. This is the reverse of it, but you could tell that this is also rotating another direction too. I line this up and I see this guy right here. See how he plays into it? But here's another fuller image of him. But this thing's, it's turned a little bit, but look how it fits Australia. You can put the tip right there, huh? This is that twisting. You can see that how that lines up, right? If anybody should be impressed, it should be Seahawks. This is supposedly the country he's from. And I'm showing him exactly how it was made. And he'd never learned this before in any school. You'd think he'd be more appreciative. Instead of being such a jerk off. But, you know, sometimes when someone gets their feelings hurt, They just get unrealistic and have to get back at somebody. That's what I think is going on here. Yeah, that's too bad for him. Here's Africa right here, the tip of Africa. Here's the problem that Seahawks and his troll buddies have, and it's called the truth. And no matter how hard you try, you can't discredit the truth, because it's the truth. And these poor saps, this troll committee that he's got, group of traveling trolls that go around and attacking people for thinking outside the herd, you guys have a problem, and it's called me, because you can't discredit any of this. None of it. There's not a thing you can do about it. And the funny thing is neither can plate tectonics, because plate tectonics is a theory, and plate tectonics cannot explain these alignments. You know why it can't explain them? Because it's wrong, and that's as good as it gets. But keep trying to discredit me. You're not going to do it, because like I said, this is the truth, and the truth, it just stands on its own. It always will, and it always has. You see how it keeps lining up when I throw these things on here just randomly? It's because it's correct. This planet and its continents reveal how it was made, and it was made by rotation and twisting, and you can see it right here. And that's what the core of this planet is. It's twisting and it's rotating. It's not an iron ball. It's a twisting piece of plasma. And that's the way it is. The feature, that's what the features show, and that's what it is. But keep trying to discredit me. You're never going to do it. For the rest of everybody, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to make an open challenge to Seahawks to discredit these alignments, and I challenge him to put this video on his site like he put my other ones to mock me for. So let's see how big of a man he is if he decides to do that. We'll see.